The latest issue of a literacy periodical called the Nos Currentes Review. It's weighty, as if promising to be a tome of great import. Two greyhounds frozen in mid-gallop against a field of blue. Around them, the titles of a few major poems and contributors. There's no logical connection between any of these things. Boring, lame, derivative. Run, ditch, throw. The table of contents lists dozens of names you don't recognize. Unusual for a poetry magazine. This appears to contain a section devoted to cryptograms. That cryptograms page is the only one worth bothering with. You alight on a double-page spread of poems. The first is about an ungrown hawthorn tree. Another tries to force razor to rhyme with demi-semi-quaver, while one is simply blank, a non-poem. Despite containing no words, the non-poem comes with extensive footnotes. It's claimed that a non-poem draws attention to our need for poetry by forcing us to embrace its non-existence. Desire from absence. Maybe that's why you were taken out of action for 5 years. The non-Herschel highlights the need for the real Herschel. Easy to say when you've never even tried to write a poem yourself. Nothing so vulgar, just more fastidious arrangements of words, all without illustration, bars and bars of it. The literariness of the magazine really comes through. Focusing on the relentless black on white of the pages make your eyes strain with effort. It is no longer a magazine you look at, but a blurry carousel of monochromatic scenes. You turn the magazine back to its cover. Asymmetrical grids and empty boxes, a jumble of letters listed alongside them. Every inch of the page has been used meticulously. Holocene would love this section. Cryptograms are his thing. They are intended for the general public, if a niche section, so should be way below the level of cryptography you encounter in theatre. You've already solved tempo cipher since you returned, so you've had a little practice at least. No need to waste time on anything that doesn't directly help with your assignment. You can't start doing cryptograms for fun. You turn the magazine back to its cover. For interest in obtaining a subscription, to purchase in bulk or to make a submission, please write care of H. Gottschlich, Keysok Roundabout Esther, 93221. That's the place with the shiny new intercom near the roundabout, so it's a poetry magazine. A gold embossed logo type at the bottom of the page. Unfortunately, part of it is smeared during the printing process. It is only possible to make out the words made, thanks, and trust. Seems like an acknowledgement of some kind. Thanking someone or something that helps to make the magazine possible. The intercom glints. The intercom light flicks back on.
Yes. Oh, merveilleux. Correct. That's us. Oh, wonderful. I'll unlock the door for you. En moment.
You're through. Now keep your seams together. Play the poet persona to the hilt. Poetry's easy. Make it short, make it vague, speak in rhyme.
Bonjour, bienvenue. Welcome to the Noscarentes Review.
Knitwear ensemble, sensible boots, a collection of beaded necklaces. She smiles shyly as you take her in.
I am. Don't mind me, I'm just the sub-editor.
A plucky literary aspirant, grinding away experience in the hallowed hall of art. Adorable.
That's what the lead editor keeps telling me too. Thanks for the encouragement.
Dilated pupils into you.
So, how can I help you? Or do you just want to listen to my voice? Stop that. I'm at work. You should give it to Haya. Accepting submissions is way above my station, but I can't wait to read it. The editor-in-chief. She's right over there. It's Deal? You're so contemporary. It's a poetry quarterly, small batch press, mid-tier distribution. Haya's really the person to talk to if you're looking for a mission statement, not me. I was assigned here as part of a sponsorship grant. No, I love it here. Just being exposed to poetry at all is so thrilling. And they let me edit it. So I see, and hear. Proofreading, mostly. Occasionally coffee brewing, cabinet filing, and floor sweeping. Quite a bit of floor sweeping. The actual work is conceptual, thinking about poetry. I haven't got to that level yet. Conceptual thinking is pretty hard. I'm part of a placement program, getting young people situated with arts and cultural institutions. I'm very grateful. The magazine's sponsors saw that Haya and the review needed a helping hand. I am that hand, that's all. I'm just here to make sure everything runs smoothly. There are no more. It's just me and Haya over there. Just a coincidence, really. We're very sympathetic to men's problems, but we also think that women's literature should be heard, so it needs more attention from us editors. I will, and reading and filing and brewing.
Among the many sections of the cabinet, you find a small stack of papers. The first page is filled with what looks like a set of printed instructions. 1. Read the poem silently, then aloud. Consider the line breaks and identify the meter and rhyme scheme, if any. Is the poem written in open form or closed form? Tutorial guidelines for the interpretation and critique of the written verse. 2. Paraphrase the poem. You may wish to do this with the entire poem, or line by line. If this is too confusing, focus on distinct imagery, or isolated parts first. 3. Consider the poet's word choice. Identify figures of speech, identify metaphors and/or similes if they are present. Your eyes are starting to glaze over. Very likely, given that her desk is next to the cabinet. A printed table labelled tetrasyllables. The first column contains hieroglyphics. The second has a series of words. Strange series of U-shaped symbols and underscores. You vaguely remember these are used to measure or describe the sound of poems. That's poetry's dirty little secret. Often enough, the rhythm follows a predictable pattern. The poets like to act as if it's some sort of magic, but structurally, it's not that hard. Proselyismatic, ditroche, diam, coriam, antipast, dispondi. The word coriam has been circled in red pen. The same pen hanging from the sub-editor's neck. Feels important, feels juicy, unsure why. The corresponding meter notation reads -UU-. If you ever need it, you can now pluck that information from the archives. The paper spins in your hands with a rustle. You put the papers back.
Hello again. Guidelines for me to follow. When I do get a chance to look over submissions, this is the checklist to see what has merit and what does not. Without them, I just never know how to read. That sounds like technicality and poetry are incompatible. Maybe they are, and I just haven't learned that yet. Obviously, I can read. I mean, like close reading. The way we read poetry. No one's ever asked me that before. What a silly question. All right.
She rests her small palm on top of the sheet of paper and slides it towards her side of the desk. Away from you.
I will. And reading and filing and brewing.
The editor-in-chief's desk is somewhat orderly. A few notebooks and proofs, a terminal, and a collection of pens, laid out side by side. Among them, a luscious fountain pen glints in the artificial light. The desk remains undisturbed. The woman contemplates the spread of pages before her. She glances back over her shoulder as you approach.
I wasn't expecting anyone today. Have you come to submit?
Maintain your persona. Don't sabotage this opportunity.
That's right. We welcome any new and aspiring poets that can meet our quality bar. Hi, Gottschlick, Editor-in-Chief. How may I help you? It's a journal of contemporary poetry. Is there anything specific you'd like to know about it? The review is open to all genres. Lyrics, ballads, elegies, obads, pastorals, paeans, even the occasional eclogue.
All these rare words roll off her tongue like a second language.
Some of these styles are disparaged in today's market. It is true. But we like to keep our ears open for anything that has potency, regardless of the form. We are still a modest operation, I have to admit. For the moment, it's only myself and my sub-editor.
We keep each other company, don't we, Haya?
We certainly do. Those are all drafts of our next issue. Each page is laid out, already formatted. Now the job is to decide on their sequence. Oh, what gave you that idea? You mean Hermita exercises? I can assure you that there's nothing sinister about them. There's a reason we call it an artistic practice. Appreciating the arts and creating them are two very different things. Few of us are blessed with both gifts. We're very fortunate to enjoy the support of a very small yet dedicated readership. At the moment, we have 262 individual subscribers, plus of course schools, universities, and libraries. No, that is, we receive the occasional grant from the Civilization Trust.
A shudder from your filing cabinet of memories. You've heard that before somewhere.
Brilliant. What did you make of our selection? Then please, submit your own entry and I shall judge if that claim holds up. I imagine you do. Of course. Well, naturally. We accept submissions by mail or in person. Verse poetry only, and standard formatting rules apply. 12-point font, double-spaced. I read it first. If the work shows any promise, we'll work together on the edits to make sure it syncs. We have room for one more in our next issue. You are here to submit what you do not have. A conundrum, one must say.
A mock interview ruptures whatever coolness you thought you had in this moment.
This is a publishing house, not a writing room. Besides, this kind of environment is not conducive to the kinds of inspired verses for which we hunger. I would suggest you find your own desk to write at. You must have one at home.
There was a desk back at Photo 24, the one with the red folder on it. That would work.
My advice would be to make sure it's quiet and allow yourself time to contemplate before you commit to paper. Evidence of abundant poetic reserves, in particular, those that are unflinchingly extracted. Poetry is a natural resource, nothing more, nothing less. Your work is to mine that resource at great personal cost, and ours is to refine it into the rarefied commodity that our readers demand. You have it in you, but you must be fearless in extracting it. That is impossible for me to answer. I don't have favorite poets, only favorite poems. If you're after some samples for inspiration, I recommend browsing our latest issue again. Till the fields of scripture roll through the briar, make dreams out of scars, verses from fire. Isn't it? I took one of Grace's stanzas and tweaked it to serve as motivation for those who aspire to our pages. It's in all of our issues under the submission guidelines. Please do. Hey man, I did.
The other side of the room, where the sub-editor sits, has suddenly gone still, silent. You're exposing yourself. Shut this down. Right now. Just what the assignment called for. Some big thinking.
For the record, there isn't a single Y chromosome in the entire facility. That'll be me. I'm a keen cryptographer. Sometimes, after a long session, I dream in code. It's not unnatural for one so dedicated to wordcraft. Cryptograms and poetry are, after all, alike in how they encrypt meaning in careful arrangements of letters. Well, firstly, as with anything, getting better is a matter of practice. You should try out our cryptograms section. But secondly, don't be fooled by the illusion of solitude. Cryptography is a game of chess where one player is absent. It may appear to be a solitary activity, but in reality, you are always facing up against another mind.
Walks asymmetrically in the unseen. Something you're used to.
They are, aren't they? You have been taken. They are, aren't they? Adieu. May you be there when inspiration strikes.
The editor-in-chief's desk is among them, a luscious fountain pen The desk remains under...
Excuse me, you can't go in there. Staff and contributors only.
And secret prisoners?
That's all right.
Suddenly, you are struck by the horrible feeling that something obvious is eluding you. It's staring you in the face. MTER has repurposed a secluded building as a magazine office and installed advanced security. An exact match for what Heartless Man told you to look out for. It appears that this whole operation is a front for the secret jail. The prisoner must be somewhere behind that door at the back. The strongest facade is that which doesn't know it's a facade, or doesn't want to know. There's only one way to be certain. Go down there yourself. A successful poem submission might be the simplest way of getting through that door. Get to work. There's a block of letter paper and a pen on your desk at the photo shop.
Hello again. Yep, just the two of us.
She nods.
The editor-in-chief's office, mostly. There's the file room too, but you don't want to go down there. It's half flooded all the time. I will. And reading and filing and brewing.
Among the many sections of the you put the papers. The intercom the indicator light.
Can I help you?
The line hisses with dead static.
The plastic? On the intercom? I was saving that as a little reward for myself. Now you've ruined it. Could you try and replace it? Yes. Maybe it'll go back on.
You look at the crumpled, sticky mess of plastic in your hand.
You sound very sure. How tragic. You're lucky you have a nice voice. Bonne journée. I'll print. I'll be here.
Bagman gestures the sounds from the... You return to the workbench. You are not a craftswoman. You have nothing to... You approach your double's bedside. His breathing does not change. The fax machine awaits orders. You turn away from... You return to the desk. Everything is right where you left it. A flat surface, a folder with some loose paper. There's even a pen that's been left behind. Yes, it seems suitable. You turn away from the desk. You return to the... You leave the trap.
Loneliest of town.
His half-hooded eyes struggle to locate yours.
Goodbye.
The machine is still soured by the smell of urine. The piss smell. The teenage boy nods hesitantly as you approach.
Back for the gruesome finale. I'll do as ever.
You pick up the payphone's handset. You step away. The cleaning tuk-tuk with its soap bubbles and the tuk-tuk...
Good to see you on the scene again. See you on the scene. Good to see you on the scene again.
Money. Some say it is real, others say it is fake. But it definitely has an impact on the world at large and the individuals within. For this young man, the explanation should be as simple as possible.
What does that mean?
Even simpler.
But how can it be? I've never even met anyone from Emter. How would they know of my desires?
You can do it. There is a moment of almost serene, silent reflection within his eyes before the stark reality washes over him.
So I'm in a lot of debt. Is this what they call the invisible hand? I think I am feeling it around my neck. What should I do? Should I become an illusion brand ambassador? How am I going to face my father like this? He's a proud man, he wouldn't understand. No, it would never work out. He's got no sense of style and spends his days withering away in a cold hallway. It is just not possible for a Protofiran to pay back a loan. No one's ever done it. There must be somebody from Emter around here who could help me. Someone who could absolve me of my debt. Like a high priest of capital or a liquidity mage. Please, find them and help me. I promise I will make it worth your while.
That Mr. Metamoto guy comes to mind.
He's old school, living in his delusions of past grandeur. Thinks he's got it all figured out with the money, the business. Very proud. Zero knowledge of the scene or what's fresh. Going to give me another one of his lectures. Very uncool. He's the manager of the housing campaign. Or at least that's what he calls himself. In reality, he's just a janitor. Yeah, like what's definitely out. The scene's the scene. See you on the scene.
The trio goes silent again as you approach.
Back.
Through Kurt's insight, you can see it now. Everything they're wearing is the genuine article. No bootlegs or knockoffs here. They weren't interested in Kurt's proposal. Why would they respond to you? She flashes a glance at her feet, uncaring, and scuffs one side of the pristine shoes against the pavement. You just need to say the right thing, the right way. Then they'll see. They'll all see how cool we really are. He grunts. You just need to say the right... Then they'll see. They'll all see.
Do you now? I'm sure it's very close to the real thing.
You just need to... Then they'll see. They'll... Of course you don't... They're going to think you're a phony, a fraud, a poser. The longer you wait and stare, the more pathetic you seem. There's no shame in retreat. There is shame in being uncool, however.
That young man over there is a bit confused.
You can feel sex eyes on your back as you...
Did you find an empty purse? See you on this.
You pick up the payphone's handset. A dolphin. You step away. You step up to the terminal again. Available command. The screen flick. Line diagnostic. The screen. You close the. The stool remains as haphazard as ever. You turn away.
Stray spies still wandering around, looking for their forever. Keep your powder dry.
You find yourself before the strange tree once more. You leave the... On the wall above, scratched and yellowed porcelain. And do not entertain further investigations of what the smudge may be. It's safe to assume that you don't want to know. From across the room, the bartender notices your gaze.
Don't worry. The smudge on the rim is just blood. 83. Kisok versus Recreación. The referee sent Peña off on a bullshit call. A riot ensued, as per tradition. Someone ripped a toilet right out of the washroom wall and chucked it at the Recreación supporters.
Impossible, awesome, unacceptable. Kisok's pride, the moment it all peaked, when all the madness and meaning in the world swelled into one glorious, unstoppable wave. They were just blowing off steam. Bit of a brawl never hurt anyone. Countless injuries were reported in the aftermath of the incident, and 2 fatalities confirmed. The bartender gives a small, approving nod in your direction.
Hello again. What'll it be? See you.
Up rent. Till next time. Up rent.
There's no man here. A null entity does not exist, has never existed. The deeds and assignments attributed to them never occurred. You are speaking with air. He clears his throat. There may be some residue in the deep archives. Try again later.
Till next time.
With awkward reverence, you approach the shrine again. In the darkness, with awkward reverence, you approach the shrine again. You adjust your position and gather the appropriate reverence. The audience of framed strangers watches you in silence. A prayer of interference. Your words hang in the air, brittle as glass. A crack of moonlight cuts across the shrine. The shadows bend in unnaturally. Your words are gone as they are uttered, careered upwards on the air's invisible wires. You slide the exit papers out of the cigarette carton and slip them inside your pocket. In the darkness, you feel the presence of all the strangers' offerings more powerfully behind you.
You're back again.
The GM gives you... You return to the animal zone. You turn away.